Hey, good Wednesday morning, everyone. A little quick video update for you here, not only covering today's weather, but we're going to talk about the end of the week and into the weekend as well, because it's not off the table that we have a little bit of a frost threat coming Friday night, first thing Saturday morning. More on that in just a second. Let's focus on the near term, though. Chilly morning compared to recent mornings. This is, unusually cool for May the 20th. It's only 43 here as we approach 9 o'clock. Columbiana, Boardman, Warren, and Sharon. Also 43 in Cortland, Calcutta, and Newcastle, some of the warm spots at only 45 this morning. So that's a hyper-local look at temperatures. Here's a regional look. The Youngstown Warren Airport, it's 41 degrees, and you can see we've got a thick cloud deck overhead this morning. This cloud deck is pretty solid up through about Detroit and north shore of Lake Erie. Now, I do think as we get into the afternoon, some of this drier air up across parts of Michigan will filter back down south and east, scour out some of the clouds. It's never going to get bright and sunny today, but these low clouds will start to thin out early in the afternoon. What will happen later in the day, though, is some of these high clouds from the system that's out to our west will come in. So the low clouds will be replaced by some high clouds, but I do think the afternoon overall will be a little bit brighter than this morning. Well, what happens with this rain out across the Midwest? Looks like it's heading our way, right? Well, I think in part that's true. I think this is going to track east, but also kind of southeast, and with really dry air in place for tonight down in the lower levels. I think as this comes through, some of it's not going to quite reach the ground. So there could be a passing shower or a sprinkle tonight, but that should be about it. So just a cloudy, cool day today. As far as high temperatures today, this will be about it. We're talking 56, 57 on average across the valley this afternoon. Keep in mind, it's now May 20th. We should be around 69 or 70 degrees for highs, so a good dozen degrees below average for today. All right, I want to talk about the end of the week. Our weather's pretty quiet through the end of the work week, but I do want to talk about this cold air that's coming as we go into late Friday and into Friday night. Let me bring up the GFS model here, and we're going to skip ahead to late in the day on Friday. Basically, what we have going on is high pressure is building in from the west. This big dome of high pressure will then park itself over the region for Friday night. Ideal radiational cooling conditions. Radiational cooling is when the heat that we pick up during the day just radiates back out into space when we have a clear sky. You need a clear sky and light winds for that. That's why cloudier nights are usually warmer than clear nights. All right, so here by Saturday morning, that area of high pressure, again, is almost right overhead. So it's going to be a crystal clear start to Saturday, and just a beautiful day overall, with temperatures getting back into the upper 60s to around 70. Great start to the holiday weekend. But the problem is, it's going to be pretty cold under that dome of high pressure for Friday night. Now, here's the GFS numbers. Here's where, a little word of caution comes into play. If you use a weather app for your forecast, and my spiel on that if you've watched my videos and my blog posts, be very careful with forecasts on apps. A lot of them are based on the GFS model. It's freely available. It's very easy to plug in GFS data into your forecasts in apps. The GFS is much colder than the other models for Friday night. So here's what the GFS would suggest the low temperature is Friday night. We're talking 29 in southern Trumbull County, and you go over into Mercer County, and it would suggest that some places are down to 24, 25 degrees Friday night. That would be a hard, killing freeze. And if you bring up some forecasts, some weather apps, I suspect you're going to see numbers that look like this. And while I can't totally discount that this will be right, I do think it will be warmer than this because of other model data that is available to us. The GFS is kind of an outlier here as far as how cold it gets. So our current forecast low for Friday night is about 38. I think that's pretty reasonable at this point. We are going to probably continue to talk about the outside chance that the coolest areas in the sheltered valleys, especially northern Trumbull County, even western parts of Trumbull County and northern parts of Mercer County, some of the traditional cold spots could see some patches of frost Friday night. So if you have vegetation and plants that you care about, we're well into May, so most people or a lot of people have planted by now. Just a word of caution that there could be some patchy frost. Don't think we have a killing freeze or a hard damaging freeze coming like the GFS would suggest. But even if we just have a little bit of frost or we get down to 32 in some places, getting very late in the season for that, the odds that our last freeze has occurred by Saturday is up to 90%. So only 1 in every 10 years do we have a freeze as late as May 23rd. So if it were to happen, it would be pretty odd. But again, what I want to get across to you is our chances of a hard freeze and a frost are pretty low Friday night, but it can't quite be ruled out. Be very careful with the forecasts that you might see on some of the weather apps. All right, that's a Wednesday morning update. I'll see you this afternoon and this evening on social media, and of course on 21 News at 6 and 11. Be sure and tune in tonight at 6, part 2 of our series about the May 31st, 1985 tornado. Andrew DiPaolo has his report from Mercer County and the impacts that the tornado and tornadoes had over there, and then my piece, my part of the 3-part series airs tomorrow night, Thursday night. So really good job by Jess last night, and we look forward to showing you the rest of this special remembrance of the 30th anniversary of the most famous tornado outbreak in recorded history here in our valley. All right, have a great Wednesday. We'll see you later on.